President Biden is waking up in Arizona this morning. It is his first stop in a three-state Western trip. He's also going to visit New Mexico and Utah, and it's part of the administration's efforts to tout what it says is the success of so-called Bidenomics. So joining us now with more on this is CBS News White House reporter Bo Erickson. Bo, the president and the administration have been working really, really hard for us to associate the good things about the economy with the Biden administration policy, so much so that they've labeled it Bidenomics. But it must be difficult for the president to get that message out above the roar of whatever the latest Trump headline is.
So when you talk to administration officials privately, they do acknowledge that a lot of the oxygen has been taken up by the news with the former president. But this is the current president, President Biden's first trip in more than a week because he's been vacationing in Delaware. And so we haven't heard him specifically address this indictment of former President Trump yet. The White House continually refers any questions about this to the Justice Department, which they say is independent. And so they're trying to almost counter-program, give them a positive message, and also try to boost their polling numbers when it comes to the economy. Today and throughout the week, administration officials, including the president, are going to be traveling all throughout the country to mark the 1 year passing of those major investments that were passed a year ago. This is the Inflation Reduction Act that put a lot of money into clean energy production. This is the Chips and Science Act last year that is trying to onshore microchip manufacturing here in the country. And lastly, this is the bipartisan infrastructure law that was also passed last year about this time. And the administration, the White House, is trying to take more credit by this. So some viewers out there may start seeing these big white signs around construction projects that say, project funded by President Joe Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. They're trying to take more credit for this because, as our polling shows here at CBS, only 19% of Americans say that the president's economic policies are helping them deal with rising costs and inflation that's been hanging over a lot of people's pocketbooks this past year.
Be interesting to see those signs at construction sites. Bo, President Biden welcomed the Houston Astros to the White House yesterday, and he made a joke about his age at the event. Watch this.
Trust me, it wasn't easy. People counted you out saying you're past your prime. Hell, I know something about that. I know something about that.
He definitely pokes fun at himself from time to time, and people enjoy it. But how is the re-election campaign addressing the issue of age on the campaign trail? It's a talking point for Republicans and even Democrats.
There's actually been a shift in messaging recently in the past couple months about the president's age, and you hear him joking about his age more. He was kind of a little bristled at that when jokes were made during the first election, but during the second election, both the president himself and White House officials are saying that they want to prove to Americans that he is not too old to do this job. And the reason why, and the way that they're going to try to do this, is to get him out away from Washington more. Now, there haven't been that many trips for campaign purposes yet. Most of them have been fundraisers, which he is also doing here in the southwestern part of the United States this week. And so there needs to be some addressing of this directly from the president, but the president will tell anyone who's maybe cautious or concerned about his age to just watch him. And if they feel concerned, well, then they're not going to support him.
Today, the president is expected to designate areas north and south of the Grand Canyon as a national park and a national monument, which I was actually surprised that those areas weren't already under some sort of protection. This is about more than just kind of preserving the majestic landscape. There's also an environmental sort of protection aspect to it.
Exactly. This is the fifth national monument that President Biden has established while he is in office. And you're right, it is more than just preserving the land, because this new national monument is going to be called the Ancestral Footprints of the Grand Canyon. And the reason why they are preserving almost 1 million acres surrounding the entirety of the Grand Canyon is to protect that sacred land, that sacred ancestral land that many Native American tribes in this region have considered dear to them and need for cultural and religious purposes throughout the year. And so this area will really be protected now. And Secretary Holland, who runs the Interior Department, she's the first Native American cabinet secretary in history. She also says that this new national monument addresses past injustices that were faced by indigenous peoples in this area when the federal government, starting in the early 1900s, drove out many ancestors from the Grand Canyon area where their ancestors have lived for hundreds of years.
Interesting. Bo, thank you. Before we let you go, where are you in Arizona? What's it called?
Tucson, Arizona, right by the
Tucson.
Grand Canyon.
There you go. Shout out to Tucson. Thank you, Bo.